How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts?
Well, to begin with, we've had many different ideas about designing the cover design for the Digipack. Originally our intention was to have large letters with all the band members photoshopped in to hang down off them, because we thought that looked quite quirky and interesting. However, we soon discovered that that was a bit difficult to perform on Photoshop, so what I decided to do was do some research into other indie covers, and I found that natural imagery was quite a common feature of many of them. So I drew this sort of sketch of...
What did this, what sort of message did this connote?
Well, basically, birds can... my idea was to sort of connote what the narrative of the video is saying. So basically, in the narrative of the video, the sort of boy and girl have a bit of a fight, and the girl ends up leaving. Well, basically, what the birds were meant to symbolise and connote was that in the narrative, the girl sort of leaves the band after a fight with the boy. So the birds sort of symbolise that by showing one flying away and one staying put where it is on the wire. So I thought that was quite good natural imagery. I then opened the image up in Photoshop and changed the hue and saturation of it, and eventually I sort of changed the light and contrast balance as well, so the paper didn't look as plain and white.
When we were creating our inlays, we came up with lots of ideas. Originally we wanted to have close-ups of each of their faces to symbolise them being together, and it helps give the audience, like, shows the audience what they look like up close and all this. And then I moved on to, well, then Ollie did some Digipack stuff with the inlays, and he mixed the images of the birds with the actual photos which he found, and I felt this didn't look that effective, so I went myself and got images from the actual video where we were in front of the garages, as I felt this was a nice simplistic feature. And how
did you edit them?
I edited them. I sharpened the images to make it look like, for example, on the Fee image, I made her look more angelic because she looks brighter, she looks just more professional.
What I also quite like about it is it contrasts to the quite dark blue background as well.
Yeah, it does, and that's what I went for as well. And I also went for the like, each member of the band has a different background colour, so it just gives them something different. With the drummer, I made sure that his background was black and white because I wanted him to go behind the CD, because he wasn't like the lead or anything. He didn't sing like the other two performers.
What's also quite interesting is it links to the video as well, because these are actually stills taken from the video.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, that's a good link that we've got there. That shows how the products all sort of
merged together.
Yeah. Some good synergy.
I also chose to get the images where they're looking away from the camera, because I feel that if they're looking at the camera, it's sort of
it implies that they're aware that they're successful.
Yeah,
and it
and
makes them look a bit egotistical.
And by doing this, they look less egotistical and just more like a realistic image.
It also connotes independence as well, which is something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Big ego, and that we were quite famous. So saying that we were an essential album goes along with the idea that we are low budget and working our way up. This is shown also in the video that with our minimal instruments and the location of the garage, which is also seen in the Digipack.
For the inlay, for one of the inlays which you see when you open up the CD cover, I took a picture of the bird from the funk cover to link it with the rest of the album, and I gave it I zoomed right up into the bird's face, and I used the burn tool in Photoshop to go around the edges to outline the bird to make it stand out more. I also used a filter effect which made the paper give the paper a textured effect, which made it stand out more and gave it more of a vintage look. I also gave it a kind of yellowy green hue which matches with the rest of the album, and it also links with the video with use of primary colours and quite dull colours as well.
With our costumes, a similar style was seen throughout all three products. so the audience has the familiar image throughout. This was a vintage individual dress that reflects our music.
Yes, I do feel it's an effective combination between the 3 products because they all link to each other effectively because we use the same images from the music video onto our actual album cover, which I feel is effective.
And there are some strong links between colour coordination and the style which we use throughout the album and the video.
Yeah, the birds are photoshopped to look vintage, which is another look we were trying to go for our costumes, which is
also seen in our magazine advert.
Yeah.
Where we've had the birds as a background with a vintage colour scheme.
And also the costumes seen throughout show the same image of the band, which is our vintage style.
Yeah, so it can be shown that our 3 products link together very well.